right. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I pulled the cord out of the microphone there. All right. Let me know if the sound is okay this morning. It looks like it is. I could do a live cough check if that makes it better. Yeah, actually, I may need more coffee. I didn't refill it. Sounds good. Thank you, Nora. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Still coughing a little bit. Um, realized that I used all the cough drops this weekend. So Melissa's coughing. She's like, "Do we have any cough drops?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." It's a good question. Maybe. No, the answer is no. So go Sam's Club pickup. Um, all right, so let's just dive right into things on Monday. It's Monday. We'll see. Level's a little lower than usual. Actually, you're right. It is. It is. There. That should be a little bit better, right there. I typically like to put it on the like higher green, little bit of yellow. If I get excited, that may be a little bit too high. Let's put it right there. That's probably better. trying to keep it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, not a huge morning as far as news goes. Empire State Manufacturing, obviously, you guys can see 30.9, blew it out. It's always a nice little perk. I think that kind of, um, you know, Canada. We just heard 28 minutes ago. More stimulus through QE is no longer required. Got some monetary policy reports coming in from the BOE as well. Dollar slipped a little bit. We talk about dollar weakness coming into the weekend, and I love this statement. I love this. Like, I feel like to be a news broadcaster, right? Um, like I love this. Europe should be wary of possible new COVID variants. The Block's economic chief says. I feel like I could put anything in here, right? Right? Europe should be wary of possible new zombie strain, right? Europe should be wary of dinosaurs, right? I mean, they're like dinosaurs could still derail the growth rebound. Like you could put anything you want in here. Like no kidding. Really? Like why is this news? Right? Oh my god, we could still do it. Right? It could still derail. It could, but okay. So what? Right? I love these headlines. Go CNBC. Starting off the morning on a bang. So with that said, again, sending the tweets out. Four stimulus checks were rising today. I think you should totally warn about zombies and or dinosaurs. I mean, why not, Neuro, right? I mean, I could put that same term in there and it would work just fine, right? It would work the same exact way. I just don't get it. It's like, okay, sure. Yeah. Zombies. Yeah. Everything. Anything could. Russia invading Europe. That could derail the COVID pandemic recovery. No kidding. Yeah. Gotta love the dumb comments that people make sometimes. But it is what it is. Anyway. Oh. Um, and our good old ECB prez patting herself on the back. I'm about halfway through. Who would have known we've been able to conquer so many things together? Yeah. And then and that's it. Really not much else besides that, right? This BUE. The November decision was a very close call. About that pound. Like that's kind of an interesting one, right? Um Growth has started to flatten out. I'm easy about the yeah, no kidding. Everybody dislikes the inflation situation. Um Oh, here we go. We'll begin to see the picture at the next MPC meeting. Nice. So we talked about the end of the year. We're basically at the end of the year. You can't blame the media as long as you keep consuming that mess. I don't consume it. I just laugh at it. I love this guy. He always looks like he's like angry, sort of. Like, I'm thinking about something. He wants to know if he should have the the carrot cake or the New York cheesecake. That's how you get him to change. They're never going to change. Never going to change. Never going to change. But overall, currencies are quite flat, right? Um, what do we got here? Currencies are quite flat across the board right now. I mean, again, obviously, mixed over here, definitely mixed here. A little mixed over here, but I mean, again, 11 and 4. 26 obviously mixed on this one right here. This one's punching up, even though they're like, "Yep, we're doing it next time." Totally flat. I mean, 33 in the pound yen. Come on, you know, -5 over here, nothing. So typical Monday morning, not a whole lot to talk about. So let's go across and start coming through these. So Aussie's been rallying up. We talked about potential drop from this area, and again, we got one of them. You see it based across. We did not get an entry here that came in last night. The gap is right here, right? So it kind of got down a little bit. It didn't quite give us a fill. I mean, maybe depending on how you drew that zone, right? Maybe, right? If you use the entire body, then maybe you got an entry. But we talked about this one on Friday going up. Some dollar weakness coming in over the weekend. And as you know, now it's starting to come back down again, kind of as expected. Week going into Monday morning, and then when the U.S. trader gets on, we see dollar strength come back in. So, it is turning at a level. I wouldn't say that this level is like really the best of levels, right? I mean, it is a legitimate level. Um, is it like the greatest level of all time? No, but it is definitely a level that prices pulled back to, and you could have grabbed it. If you draw it, it's probably within range of the 50 as well. Um, Yeah, right in that kind of snuck it in. And again, it's one of those things. It's like, would I take it off the 50? No, no. I mean, I guess the 50 is kind of right here, but this was a much better level, and it kind of did that. But like, why take all that risk, right? And again, here you fib people. If I draw enough fib lines, eventually it's gonna hit one of them, right? Like, I saw it again. A friend of mine was like, "Oh my god, check out this analysis." This was his analysis, right? And then he was over here. He did one of these things, and then he did one of these. Like, I hate this. Don't send like. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Don't send me a fib chart with all this on there. Like, I'm so tired of people like, oh, look at this, and there's like 27 different fib draws. Like, yes, by the law of numbers, right? Law of averages. If you draw enough lines on the chart, eventually one of them is going to hit. That's not a strategy. So stop telling me that this is your strategy. That your strategy works out well, right? You should try this. Look at this. Look at this. I did this, and I drew. No, stop. I can't. I can't take it anymore, right? I can't take it. Pick a strategy, sticks with it. Don't draw it. Don't make it so messy that eventually, yes, eventually, if you draw enough lines, one of them is going to hit. Okay, and you can make any number hit you want if you draw enough lines, right? Drives me crazy. So tired of hearing it. Look at this. My analysis is awesome. No, it's not. You drew 30 different fib draws. Of course, one of them is going to hit. It's like the same people that are like, oh, look at this. My strategy kills it. It's like, yes, 1 out of 20 of your trades worked. Don't brag about this one that worked when the last 19 didn't because you had no idea what you're doing. Eventually, yes, you will eventually get one. Drives me insane. Oh, hold on. Let me shut this down real quick. I don't need that anymore. Maybe I won't hit that yet. All right. So it is a level. Again, it's not horrible. If you guys are looking for something, it does coincide with obviously a U.S. Open as well. It's 1 of 3. It's a little bit deep, right? It's a little bit lower. It's not quite at the tested level. The tested level would be sitting right there. So it's there, but again, you got to watch out for the smaller bit. So not a bad trade this morning. It's probably something that's you guys could probably take. Also, again, also reaching higher. Now, again, this is a level we marked off from last week. It's still there. Again, I'm just afraid that it's not going to get up. It needs to move just a little bit more. It needed to move about 8 more pips higher. But it's basically the same trade setup. This one is focusing with the yen instead of the dollar. Um, I, the other thing about this cough is it's a productive cough. I have no idea how I could be coughing up so much stuff. Like, I feel like I must be like sleepwalking into my bathroom, running a bath, sleeping underwater, swallowing all the liquid, going back to bed, you know, in time for my pajamas to dry, and then I spend all day coughing it back up again. It's crazy. Um, oh, anyway, it's a level you could have traded something small off this one, but I think the Aussie dollar was a better play than the Aussie yen. But again, I think we're just approaching the high side. Both are kind of in the same spot. Look for a short. Euro pound. All right, so we had a Harry Potter trade set up here, the 85.20. Love how it just ran across. And again, this is where the gap was right in this level right here, kind of right in this section right here. Just ate up orders, ate up orders, ate up orders, finally punched through. Gave us a little bit of a base. I think this one is probably, it didn't really give enough spacing, right? But I think it's probably a decent short, just because again we're starting to hear rumblings from the pound that hey, this November meeting, um, it was super close last time for us doing something. Next time we're doing something. So I feel like the market's going to take that, read that, and start adjusting accordingly to it. And again, what does that actually mean? Not sure what they're going to kind of, you know, what they're going to use to kind of manage it. But I do know, um, again, the market tends to try to kind of front run changes, right? So we should start seeing some pound strength come back into the market today, and that would coincide with this. Again, this is not a huge move. We're only talking about 25 pips to the downside, so it's nothing huge. But I think it's a decent short opportunity. It's one that we talked about last week. Really trying to take over and take advantage of that racetrack. Really down to probably 84.73 would be where your profit target is, with a potential reversal down here at 84.61. Euro yen. So euro yen, we were looking for this to drop. It's really just kind of flatlined on us. Weekend gap happened right here, so not really a gap, and we're in the same exact spot where we were. So we were looking for it to drop down with a potential reversal today. Didn't get it. It just held firm. I would say at this point it's kind of going sideways, kind of channeling more than anything else. um, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock. There's probably something sitting probably up in this area somewhere. Um, Maybe an area to watch out for like a European Open, right? Decent push down, a little bit of a base and a pull and push, and it's kind of tested here. So there's probably something sitting in there, but it's going to be got to be a special timed entry on that one, and we're just a little bit far from it right now. So not a whole lot to do with that one. All right, so euro dollar. So euro dollar, we ended up going all the way down to this level, which is fine. Again, we've really spent a lot of time. Like here's what, Thursday night, Friday morning, and now Monday morning. We're in the exact same spot. So it's really, 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 really fighting this area of buyers down here. We've talked about it. We talked about how we do have a fib target up top. It's a level that had nice momentum off of it. It was kind of a level of basing, dropped down, pulled back, and again, it was an old Harry Potter level, and then had a very strong push, right? So we're kind of looking for 115.62. It's kind of stuck down here, right? So we would really need a big amount of dollar weakness or a lot of European strength to really kind of derail this one. Not quite there yet. Um, I don't know. Like I said, this I wouldn't say that this really had the dollar weakness coming into it. And at this point, I mean, we've tagged this thing up like 4 or 5 times. Um, I don't know. As far as going long on this one, I mean, obviously we have this for later on a setup list, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, I mean, it's a level, it's holding, but is it going to give us enough momentum to kind of break off of it? I feel like the answer is no on that one. Let's see what we have below it. Yeah, I mean, look, on a 4 hour basis, there's that level, but look at this. There's a little hiccup here, a little hiccup here. So it's got a lot to chunk through to the downside. I like that one too. I like the ascending out here and then higher, then higher, then higher, and then pop. I don't know. I just feel like at this point, I mean, I feel like the European Union is a little bit behind. We've already hit this once and kind of taken a bounce and then hit it again, and we're bouncing on it now. Um, about the only thing that derails this is any of the earnings. Sales tomorrow could. Hmm. There is no danger of a wage price spiral. Everything is more or less. It got even more flat with him speaking. Bailey speaking right now. That's gonna be rough. Yeah, as much as I would love to say like take this for long, I think based off this initial push and the way that it's moving right now, I definitely think watch that level. That could be something in the future. I just don't feel like I'm ready to take it long though at this point, especially with this level of pacing right above on a 4 hour basis. Um, I think it needs to clear out of this area before I'm really willing to do much with it. I mean, it's pretty flat. I mean, it's really kind of stuck. If it does drop again, we have. I mean, we've only broken in maybe 5-10% of this level. There's a lot to go here still to be able to push this higher. But do I think that there's dollar weakness coming in strong today? Not really. Not really. Maybe tomorrow morning. Maybe if retail sales are bad, maybe that helps them keep the interest rates down a little bit lower. But we got a lot of time from now till then, so you know, kind of interesting kind of time here. Pound yen. So pound yen, we were looking for this to kind of drop lower and spike. I mean, from where we were from where we were down here on Friday, we were really kind of looking for an open down here, right? We're looking for that news, and it did. I mean, it spiked off that level, but it wasn't down at that lower level, right? If I move that to the side, you can see we got a spike. We just didn't get, you know, we weren't at a great buying level. Um, right now, I would say, based off that, obviously, you know, they're talking right now, so you got to be a bit cautious with it. Getting a little bit of a pullback now in a 30. I would say watch out for this small little level here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we can kind of get back up into kind of this range up at 153.56. Um, again, they're kind of talking about what they're going to do at the next meeting. I think overall the headlines are positive. I think everybody's still waiting for the, but, right? I don't think the but is in yet. But I think that's what people are waiting for. So overall, I would say probably an up day. I mean, right now it's obviously not moving. It's only 0.1%, really kind of stagnant. But I think again we see more headlines out of this coming through, which we should. Um, see if we can get a bit more of a pop, like that one long. Pound dollar. Pound dollar also stagnant. This one has moved 14 pips in 24 hours. Kind of the same thing. We're at this level of basing. We ended up right here. We're a little bit above where we ended up. Again, pushed up a little bit, went down a little bit, went up a little bit, and we're kind of right in the same level. Not really grasping a whole lot. I would say top side we're more or less clear. We have obviously bounced off that level last week on Thursday. Um, I would say, I mean, in reality, I wouldn't say that this one is really trending. Since Friday at noon, we've really been going inside of a very, I mean, we're talking about a 28 pip channel. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot with this one. I mean, 0.12, it is what it is. If I had to make a call on this one, although I do like the pound positive, I do think the dollar has a little bit more to be looking forward to. And I would say probably more. I kind of like this one to the upside, but we need to break through this level. Right now, again, we've eaten the heck out of the level. I think when we come up and bounce potentially off this, I think that's where the long comes in. But really, right now, I mean, as far as decent shorts, I like the 135.29. Obviously, the 133.56, it's taken a long time to go away from it. But again, decent level. You kind of, touched and didn't do it fast, but still a level that you need to watch out for. All right. Dollar CAD. So, Dollar CAD is still in this position. Right. We talked about getting short this last week. And again, uh, right there is your Sunday gap. And this is one of those situations where, I mean, it really wasn't even a Sunday gap. It wasn't much. But if you got into your position, if you get out at the end of the day, right here, you had the opportunity to get back in, and you could have even played it when it got lower. It's about 2/3 of the way through. Again, we made it all the way down to 125.08. Obviously, some Canadian data this morning. Not a lot to contend with, but again, dollar strength kind of hurts this one. Made a decent push down to 9 o'clock and 9:30. So we'll see if we can go to the full completion of this one. But this was a target set up from last week. Um, yeah, nothing else to say. This is still short. And again, you got out of it and then you reopened it Sunday night. If nothing changed, you're still in the trade. No problem. You capture some profit from last week already. Okay. Dollar Swiss. So yeah, dollar Swiss turned on us. We didn't quite get there. I think we missed this one. Was it by 7? Yeah, by 7. 6.1. So almost 7 we missed it by. As you can see, it came down, it bounced off this level of base and kind of came across. And now it really hasn't done much since the European Open right here. Here's the European Open, this little red candle. We're basically in the same spot. I wouldn't say there's any direction completely sideways. Not a lot we can do with this one. If anything, I would say I'm probably a bit more bearish. Um, yeah, large level of basing. We did turn off of it, but yeah, just not a whole lot there yet. Sorry, nothing there. But again, I think 92.43 is decent up top. As far as levels I'd be looking to buy, probably not down here. I mean, it's quite a ways away. I mean, we're talking about 80 something pips. So we'll see when we get a little bit closer what kind of rings out. But right now, I would say that there's just not a lot there that are gonna be like, yeah, I love that one. So no trade setups for dollar Swiss, dollar yen. Harry Potter has not gotten entered. Right here's where we ended last week. Right here, push through, love it. Form the new base. A little bit of a hiccup. Again, trade's still there. It's just on the setup list. It has not triggered yet. Again, this one we take a little bit of yen strength. I think with earnings coming in later on today, I think we will get a little bit of help. But right now, there's not a lot there, right? Not a lot there on it. So was not interested in taking it long. Again, if this, then that. When it finally does break, then yes, I am willing to do something. Until it breaks that level, not really willing to do much. Just kind of sitting on the sideline. Okay. Oil. So oil did come down and kind of grab one of those buying levels. Oh, hold on, my phone just went off. What is it saying? Oh, former Trump advisor Steve Bannon turns himself into authorities on contempt charges related to contempt. I love how Congress is like, oh, this is contempt of Congress. Like, who cares, right? Like, at the end of the day, too, they're like, oh, he needs to tell us what he did. Why? He doesn't actually. Like, I mean, he can plead the fifth. You're like, oh, well, there's not a court of law. Then he's not in contempt. What is it? Are you going to try to control it like a court and hold him in contempt because he doesn't want to talk to you? He also has the right to not self-incriminate himself. So, like what? Like, we have more problems out there, and Congress is so stuck on something that happened in the past. Like, let's move on. Okay. There's a lot of problems you didn't cover in the past, but let's talk about this still. Like, no. Why don't you fix what's going on right now? Detroit, I think, not Detroit, but what is it? Flint? Flint does still not have clean drinking water, and we're worried about something that happened, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? Poor people for how many years now have not had clean water? Can't fix it. Sorry, guys. You're stuck with it. Like, I'm sorry, but I believe that has, you know, more people, I believe, have been affected by that than have been affected by, you know, if the populace is rioting, you're probably doing something wrong. Sorry. Anyway, oil taking a little bit of a spike as we expected it to, since from the open. And really, it's a 930 candle that helped us pull off of it. It's nice that it got down to 79.33, decent level. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it'll go up today. Again, we got a nice little spike right at 8:30, and it pushes back down. I think oil finds a bottom somewhere today. Again, manufacturing look great. We'll see what retail sales looks like tomorrow. I think all this is, I think everything's moving in the right direction. Do I like oil below 80? Heck yeah, heck yeah. Is there any news out there that should be driving this lower? Not really. But like I said, it's getting cold. People are now focusing on natural gas a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I would say look for a long opportunity. It's already bounced a little bit off that 73.33. It's up, what, 40 cents? So it's there. I don't think it's going to be a big day today. Like I said, plenty of buyers over here, so it's not really an area I'd be willing to get short in anyway. But again, maybe it's a decent, maybe it's a decent, I don't know what the knockouts are over here. I haven't looked at it yet. Mondays are always rough for me to grab Midix before these presentations, but maybe it is a knockout opportunity for something long for the week. I just don't feel like there's anything out there that's suggesting that it should go much, will go much lower at this point. Um, you know, like I said, if you're OPEC, right? If you're OPEC in Russia and you're like, yeah, there's a lot of pressure for us to drop supply cuts. You're like, yeah, but it's under $80 now, right? 80 is a psychological number for them too. So, yeah, we'll see. But I would say up today. Again, it's already done its drop down. It's already pushed its way down, and we've hit the level, and now we're popping. Natural gas. Natural gas is literally just rebounding back and forth again between these two lines. Again, we do know that at least there are sellers sitting right here, right? They've been there a few times at $4.91. Um, we hit our first target. I mean, here's our first area buyers. We hit it. We closed. We gapped higher right off the weekend and came up and grabbed sellers up top and literally it opened in a zone. So you should have been short. Back down to 476. It did hit it, and now it's just coming back up to that same level again. So I would say with temperatures today, I will say like here it was like what was it? When I got in the car, 41. You know, um, you get temperatures in the 40s, people are going to start using gas. So it's going to come up. I mean, now seasonally, it does make a little bit more sense. But again, at least it's not up at that $6.50 range. It's down at the 480 range. Much better, but I do think it comes down. And again, I wouldn't really be focusing on this upper level. I think the next strong buy for us is going to be down at $4.62. We are kind of pushing a little bit up, but I think this 491 is a decent level to sell. And again, it's provided two opportunities thus far. Um, so yeah, maybe something in there, maybe something. But again, there was your gap short from the weekend. Driven down to the U.S. session, and then we again drove it back up again. So gold is just kind of meandering back and forth. I mean, it's in a high level of sellers right now. We've hit it a few times, so it's not a super strong level. I think 1880 is the next really solid short level. And then vice versa, buys at 1844. Inflation is not a thing today, right? It will come back up. We'll see what retail sales looks like. I think a lot of this messaging about stagflation um, has also kind of, has also kind of reared its head, and people are like, "Holy crap, this is what we're seeing." Um, and I think really, I don't think anything's changed. I think that they're just focusing on other things today. Um, like I said, none of the inflationary assets are really doing much. So again, gold I would say more short today than anything else. No really long opportunities, and it is sitting in a zone. Silver you can see is quite down, but all it's doing is really bouncing back and forth between the 2441 and this lower level. Now this lower level we have hit it now about 3 times, so we are kind of approaching 4. Question is, are we going to come down and grab this lower level before dropping back down to 24? Figure if we have 45 days left to go, right? Um, we're at $25, right? So we need to go. We need to jump $25 in 15 days. And then at that point, we basically have what? It needs to go up basically $2 a day is what we need this to do. Something like that. Um, Not sure what day Wall Street bets said we're going to hit it, but I don't think we're getting there. Um, so yeah, again, we'll see when the Fed starts stepping in. I would say silver today, the way that it's looking, I know it's negative. I know this is some buyers here. Maybe we take a 1030 reversal, but I would say if you're in silver right now, I would be short more than anything else. This one kind of gapped over here. It really didn't do much. It kind of dropped, and I was kind of hoping it would run up a little bit first, but it didn't. It kind of left without me, so I didn't get into this position. Um, I've been trying to follow silver a little bit more. I'm not trading it yet, really, but I'm trying to follow it a bit more often just because I think there's going to be some potential here. I feel like at the end of the year, there's going to be like, oh my God, we got to get there. I feel like there will be some manipulation at the end of the year, just would like kind of take advantage of that. So right now, yeah, I'd say, this level's been hit 3 times. We're hitting number 4 right now. So it's been a good level so far. I mean, maybe right at this, maybe there's a 1030 reversal in here. But right now, you're seeing the cryptos are they picking up speed to the downside. You're not seeing the same level right now of inflation hedging, right? Um, Speaking of cryptos, yeah, they're really accelerating. Look at that, really starting to accelerate to the downside. Doji is the same way. Ethereum's the only kind of outlier because it had such a big run up first. But again, nice little drop in the near term, right? And again, the Bitcoin story. I don't know if you guys heard me with Nadex. I have a friend that's all over it. He's like, Bitcoin is the future. Everybody should invest. I'm like, it's kind of that. He's that the Iron Man meme. It's like, here we go again. The 100,000 by the end of the year, it would have to raise $2,800 a day, right? $2,800 a day to make 100,000 by the end of the year. I mean, it's down 800 and $800 right now. It'd have to be positive, no pullbacks, $2,800 every single day. Let's see, what is the ATR on this one? So daily ATR is 2,800. So basically, Bitcoin's not allowed to have one negative day, no pullbacks. But if it used its daily ATR, which is 2,800, every single day it has to be positive. No pullbacks for the rest of the year. I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah. I've already pre-purchased the Bitcoin 100,000 congratulatory Christmas cards. I will be sending them a few out. Just saying. Let's go over the indices, actually. Let's check the VIX first. VIX is doing a little bit of a pop. That's not necessarily best for the indices. That typically means negative. Dollar index, dollar index is flat, so that's not going to be a big player. Here's a yes. Again, we've had a little bit of a pullback. Let me drop it down to a 15-minute. We talked about having a level up top, and you can see right here about that 8:15 time frame. Right around 9 o'clock, it was starting to push back down. Nice little push at 9:45. Really, this one, I feel like it got front run a bit. I actually like this one short at the open, but again, it really kind of took off ahead of time and really pushed us down. So with the VIX spiking, I don't see any reason why this one doesn't stay positive today. I know this pullback, and again, we had a level just a bit higher. Um, we'll see with the rest of the, like I said, I don't think there's any. Do we have anything small today? No, we're done for the day. But manufacturing was great. So again, depending on what I mean, right now it's probably the Steve Bannon thing, right? Unfortunately, I'm sure that's what they're like. Oh my God, look at that, they're right, and then like they're just bringing up all the negativity. But again, seeing a push, I wouldn't say today is going to be like a record. We're going to 47.25. I still do like this level short. So again, if we do come up to this level and can get up to 4,700, I do think that is a short opportunity. But again, this one had a nice little push down of about about 13 pips, 12 pips or points, right, from the open. So it's there, but I don't see it being a gigantic mover today. NQ had the same pullback. Um, Miraculously enough, look at that. It came right down and grabbed that target before flipping back up again. But, we talked about that, the little bit of a hiccup it needed to get through, and it did. It came up, it hit the hiccup right at 8:30, 8:45 when we started, and yeah, right. So that one obviously is already out and done. That was not a huge risk level. It's about 1 to 6 to the downside. 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So not a bad little level. Right. But funny it hit that those dotted line, those targets. So yeah, kind of say the same thing. Like I said, I can see it coming back through. This one's also probably worth another little, maybe one more short at 16,275. It's all right. Like I said, manufacturing is good. No real reason why this couldn't go higher. Everybody's talking about how they're not out of the woods yet, but everything looks pretty good. So I don't, I don't think it's bad. Not a horrible, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it drops all the way back down. Like I said, there is a bit of a racetrack trade sitting right here. A little setup. Right. So if you are looking for something later on this afternoon, oops, I'm gonna shoot that right on. Look at that 1 to 3 exactly. That's a decent little setup. And again, that would be a break of this level, coming all the way down to this level. Right. So there was your opening print. YM also pulled back, and we talked about this one as well. We were hitting a line of sellers, and it literally came up and grabbed it right at that 8:45-ish time frame, and did the same thing. Rolled back down. It's funny. It took a bounce right off of that old level. We don't need that old level anymore. Let's take that in. Let's leave that there. 100, which is right there. So, yeah, I would say with that setting up right there. Yeah, so I mean, it's 117 points down, but if we can get down to 3,600, instead of 36,000, I like the way that popped. I like how we have the ascending one wicks on that one. Obviously, psychological number, but I kind of like the pop on that one. So we'll see if this one can get down. Again, manufacturing index is good. This should kind of meander and come up back over this level. If we're pushing up to that like 36,800, wouldn't be surprised. We'll see. I mean, like I said, it's been pretty much straight down till about 9:45. we're close enough to that time frame. Let's see if we get a reversal now for the rest of the day. So yeah, it's there. Russell. So we talked about Russell. Has pushed all the way back down again. Almost kind of back down to its lows. It's kind of flirting with all this junk right in here, right? Um, problem with Russell is there's not really a clean level of buying until all the way down here, right? I mean, there's a lot of junk in here, right? Problem is, this is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, which is not really the best of levels. So obviously, let's see what the headline is, because obviously the Russell is not real happy right now. The Fed is losing credibility. Yep, been saying that for 6 months. Um, Really, there's no big headlines out. Like I said, manufacturing survey is good. That was the best thing in there. And again, everything else has been BOE, right? BOC, and Mohammed El-Laren saying that the Fed is losing credibility. So, um, interesting article out as far as that goes too. So Todd was like, "Yeah, did you hear they're talking? You know, they're potentially talking about replacing Powell with this with Lyle." I'm like, Bernard. I was like, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, she's not the most qualified, but that's the one that they've been tagging because of you know the Biden administration. But I just looked at a very interesting article about it, and again, I guess December is when we have to have the official. I think December. I think it's December for Powell. Um, Basically saying that it's still highly likely. It's still bipartisan. He'll probably get the vote, and here's why. If they replace Powell, who's a Republican, with somebody like Bernard, which not that she's bad. I love her digital dollar emphasis. She is very actually aggressive against China. Um, but I do really like her, her personality. Um, but I don't like the fact that she's being given it just because of her sex. The problem with putting her in, which would be considered a Democratic Fed president or the Fed chair, is we know what the next stage is going to be. It's raising interest rates. So if we're already slowing right now and you're going to raise interest rates because the inflation situation is bad, the economy most likely, not economy, but the stock market is going to crash. Now all of a sudden you will have a Democratic president replace a Republican Fed chair, put in a Democratic person in it, and then we go into a recession. So the timing of it doesn't really make sense, knowing what's about to come, as well as most people in there. Yeah, the inflation thing, but the inflation thing has been kind of politics. Remember, everybody loved Powell when, remember, Powell fought Trump because Trump was like, no, 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 you need to lower it down. You need to make it super cheap for businesses. And he fought Powell, or he fought Trump the entire way, and everybody loved it, thought it was great. Um, so it's funny, like all of a sudden now it's inflation. It's like, well, he fought, then you demanded that he do it, and now you're like mad that he's not doing it. So Powell's just in a bad situation. It's just a bad timing of everything. You get to ride the waves, but it's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? With Biden's approval rating the lowest it's ever been, and actually 62% of people say that he is doing a bad job now. Not just are not happy, but are thinking he's doing is underperforming, um, especially with the economy. It's a very and again, Republicans. I don't know if you guys saw this either over the weekend. Republicans are now in polls leading at the midterm elections to take a sweep back already. Now a lot can happen a year, but what the next step of the COVID pullback is, it's not going to necessarily favor. So, yeah, it's a rough situation all across the board. So, anyway, Russell, there's no headlines for Russell. I mean, we'll see what it comes up with. Like I said, I mean, I keep clicking this, but there's nothing that's even minor up here for this. And again, people are getting $550 today, so there's no real negativity in there. Russell's leading the pack down. And again, we talked about earlier how these were all set up for downs at this point, but you know, downs on a technical basis, not downs on a fundamental basis. So, damn, it's a shame that one did not get up there. It was so close. We got within what 2.5 points? Yeah, 97.50. Damn you! You were so close. So we'll see. Kind of like this one though, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes through. And we'll see if we can get a 1030 reversal today in any of these. Like I said, big news though. Look at this. Tesla's under 1,000 again. Back at 990. I wonder if Mr. Pelosi got out all the positions. I wonder if he got rid of if he tore loose all his options positions. Apple's up on the day a little bit, kind of spiking back down again. Natural gas is trying again. Oil's halted. Gold stuck. Silver again bouncing but stuck. Aussies are the only decent ones. Yeah, it's trying. Look at this, doing a little bit of a test. Stuck. Yeah, here's the pound news. It's finally the pound news from that speech is finally kicking in. Here we go. Go pound. Go pound. Euro's holding. Not doing much. There's the pound news. Go pound. Yeah, it popped again. 5 hits. Not gonna do anything. CAD trying. Damn, we had a nice little push. CAD's close. Swiss, nothing. Yen, nothing. And Bitcoin is continuing to fall. Yeah, it's politics, Ernest. I mean, it's all a game. Yeah, it's all a game, but like I said, I mean, right now, I mean, if you're hearing the stories, I feel like, yeah, he's still forcing the mandate. The courts have now withheld the block on the mandate. You're hearing about nurses leaving in droves, teachers leaving in droves. The intelligence community said there was over 1,000 intelligence workers that were like, "You mandate it, we're gone, we're out. Good luck." It becomes a national security issue. So before COVID, the vaccine was a mandate. Like I said, they're still pumping billions of dollars into these companies, and there's still no repercussions that these companies have. So yeah, I don't know. And meanwhile, Harris is just quiet on the sidelines. So don't know. Anyway, let's get into the drawing for today. Quick session today, but it's a Monday, and there's really not a whole lot going on. So give you guys about 30 seconds to get entered in here. Ernest is missing right now. Will is not here either. Where's Will? Has it gotten too cold for Will this morning? Hmm. Will. All right. I guess Will's not in today. All right. Let's shut it down. Must have got cold. Will must be busy. All right. That said, Briggs won on Friday. So Briggs is going for 100 today. Everybody else is going for 50 because I missed the 2 days last week. We're going to do the 50 today, and then it'll be, the normal days. Let's see how it shakes out today. All right. Winner of today's drawing is. Ooh, I just talked about her last week too. I was like, "Huh, the ladies haven't won lately. Ladies have not won. It's been a while. Been a while." Give her 50. Look at that. Will's not here, so Moraine was able to gain a little bit of ground, back within 130. Right, back within 130 pip chips. Look at that. Will misses a day. Moraine is like, "Ha, gotta win today. Gotta win today." Swiss franc versus the euro, 16-month high. What is this? Finally balance decisions from an individual point of view. No one at the BOA said it would hike rates in November. Yeah, I don't. I believe that. Like, why? I don't think they're quite there yet. Oh, I gotta check this headline out. Bailey says all meetings are in play for a rate hike. Okay, sure, whatever. Oh, now, here we go. The overshoot in inflation is noteworthy. Yeah, I rate this one. We don't see the basic context of low interest rates changing too. I'm telling you, everybody's stuck on this crack. Like everybody's like, "Woo, low interest rates, we love it." I'm telling you, I don't think we're going back to like 16% interest rates. I think we'll keep. I think we're going to be keeping the low one, but yeah, we'll see. All right, with that said, guys, 10:20. We're at early today. Not shocked, but appalled by the. I know, right? Hey, it's been a while. Marina hasn't won for has it's been a while. So, all right, I'm out of here. I gotta go get more coffee. I'm out. You guys have a great trading day today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.